Welcome, everyone. I'm Steve Adubato. You're looking at someone we've had on before, backed by popular demand, Shennell McCloud, CEO of Project Ready. Shennell, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me, Steve. I'm really excited to be here today. I'm hopeful that I can talk about the urgent need for the Black women's agenda in New Jersey.
Why don't you do that? But first, as we put up the website for Project Ready, tell everyone what it is and then go right into it.
Absolutely. So Project Ready is a social justice organization that I founded a little over 4 years ago with the purpose of making sure that we're activating voters across the city of Newark and also adding some supports to our voters across the state of New Jersey.
You know what? Voting has changed dramatically. People, back in my day, right? Not your day, my day. Hey, there's a day. You go. It's Tuesday, November, whatever. You go and you vote that day. It's not that way anymore. Why is that relevant when it comes to issues of race and racial inequities regarding voting?
I think what's exciting about the difference in between what is happening or what was happening in your day versus what's happening in the current day is making sure that people have all opportunities to access democracy. We're now seeing people who are voting by mail. We're seeing people who are engaging in our early voting process, which was just initiated in this past election. And we're seeing people turn out to the polls now that it's safe. In this past election, we're seeing, as the data comes in, a little over 30% of New Jersey voters that participated in the early voting process, which to me is a sign that people are excited about this access and excited about us getting closer to a more fair democracy.
You know, Shennell, across the country, in New Jersey as well, but across the country more so, there are other states that are saying, hey, wait a minute. The 2020 election taught us a lot. We need to make it hard. I'm not going to take that back. I want to editorialize. We want to make sure you have an ID to be able to vote. We want to make sure you are who you say you are when you vote. And then there are others, Stacey Abrams and others down in Georgia, who say, wait a minute, that is not about confirming who's voting, but it's about making it harder for minorities to vote. Play that out.
Yes, absolutely. So I think everything that you listed absolutely has made it harder for our Black and Brown residents to vote. And this is one of the reasons why our organization has been working to lead the charge to make sure that people not only have access to vote by mail and early in-person voting and online voter registration, but we're now advocates for some additional activities that can support people with voting. For example, same-day voter registration. Where are we with that? Ensuring that people still continue to have a vote by mail ballot. And finally, and this has been a big push of mine, making sure that all of our county clerks have the resources and tools that they need to be able to educate the voter about how they can engage in democracy with some of these new opportunities.
Shennell, I say, let's play word association. I've done this with a lot of different people. I say January 6th, 2021. You say?
It was a tragic day. It was a day where, if I'm being honest with you, I felt I'm a mom, I'm a Black woman, and I am someone who is attempting to continue to believe in the democratic process that is supposed to honor and protect me and honor and protect my children. And what I saw that day was put me in direct conflict with my ability to be able to continue to entrust in the democratic process that I'm hopeful that my kids are going to be able to engage in to the fullest extent as we move forward. I never want to see anything like that again, Steve. I never want to see anything like that again. And my hope is, as we continue to move forward and as we start to consider, with new legislators in place, ways that we can protect and honor our people of color, we won't see anything like that again.
By the way, you're going to see a graphic as I say this right now. It's a series we've been doing for a couple of years and all years, well before January 6th, called Democracy at a Crossroads. You'll see it on your screen. Now, you may ask, why am I asking Shennell McCloud about January 6th? Because for me, and it's not, again, an opinion, it is a responsibility for everyone in the media to not just understand what happened that day, but what the implications are for our democracy of that day. Because if people think, hey, it was a one-day thing, bad enough if it were a one-day thing, but A lot of people are worried about political violence, which we'll be talking about a lot moving forward. Real quick, before I let you go, talk about the racial wealth gap. How big is it? What do we need to do, Shennell?
Yes, absolutely. So New Jersey has one of the largest wage gaps in the country between white men and Black women at 50%.
What is it?
What'd you say?
What is it?
It's at 55 cents on the dollar.
Okay, for every dollar
Yeah.
a white guy earns.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
For every dollar a white person earns 55 cents more than a Black woman.
Is that a white male or just a white person?
It's a white man.
55 cents.
55 cents. Yes. And I think what we're seeing here is, and again, I want to bring this back to the urgent need for us to address a strong policy agenda that honors and protects our Black women for a few reasons. One, because it's just the right thing to do. But also, when we look at how people are showing up and showing out to vote, we know that our Black women, based on national results, are showing up and they are showing out to vote. But in this recent election, we did not actually see our Black and brown people showing up in a similar way that they did in 2017.
Why do you think that was, Shennell?
It's a good question. I think one of the reasons is that our Black and brown people are not feeling heard. They need to actually see people who are giving them a reason to vote. And if I may add one other thing, I think that people also need to start seeing more representation, more fair representation in democracy. For example, New Jersey's 3 most powerful leaders are white men. The governor.
White, middle-aged, older men. They just elected a state Senate president after Senator Sweeney was voted out of office. And Nick Scutari, who we'll have on the show, I believe from Union County, dare I say, a middle-aged white guy. That's yes. three for three. The governor, Craig Kaufman, Senate president, and Senator Scutari. What's the message there?
The message is that it's tone deaf. If we are saying that we want to fairly represent the people who are voting and the people who are making sure that we continue to honor fair democracy, we need to actually see those people represented in office.
Yeah, there is a lieutenant governor in the state, Sheila Oliver, who was the Speaker of the House in the Assembly. There is not another, if I'm not mistaken, another elected statewide leader. And in the leadership down in Trenton, there are, as Shennell said, 3 middle-aged older white guys.
Yes.
It is what it is. People will decide how they view that. But Shennell, hey, listen, continue to come back and educate us, engage us, and we're honored to have you with us, Shennell. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate the time.
You got it. I'm Steve Adubato. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Hackensack Meridian Health, the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagine Childcare. PNC, Grow Up Great. NJM Insurance Group, the New Jersey Education Association, the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Clean Energy Program, the North Ward Center, the Russell Berry Foundation, and by NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan. Promotional support provided by Jaffe Communications and by Insider NJ.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.